Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter, and we're glad you're joining us today. We're starting off with a developing story that's been making headlines around the globe. The situation between Israel and Iran continues to escalate, with both sides exchanging blows and tensions rising by the hour. According to reports, Iranian missiles have targeted Israeli cities, while Israel has launched airstrikes against Iranian military installations. At the center of this conflict is the United States, with President Trump weighing in on the situation. In a series of posts on social media, the president has called for an unconditional surrender from Iran and warned that the U.S. has complete and total control of the skies over Iran. He's also stated that he's not interested in negotiating a ceasefire, instead seeking a more permanent resolution to the conflict. But what does this mean for the region and for global stability? We'll be exploring this question and more as we delve deeper into the story. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has signaled that Iran is open to talks with the U.S., but only if Israel halts its aggression. Meanwhile, lawmakers in the U.S. are making a bipartisan push to restrict President Trump's ability to go to war with Iran. As we navigate this complex and rapidly evolving situation, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and avoid taking sides. We'll be examining the latest developments, including the impact on civilians, the role of international diplomacy, and the potential consequences for global security. We'll also be looking at the reaction from world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, who has been accused by President Trump of being publicity-seeking in his attempts to broker a ceasefire. The G7 leaders have released a statement calling for de-escalation and affirming Israel's right to defend itself, while also noting that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be bringing you updates, analysis, and insights from experts and officials on the ground. We'll be exploring the historical context of the conflict, the geopolitical implications, and the human cost of the violence. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the world of tech and international relations in our middle segment today. A recent report from the New York Times has sparked a lot of discussion about the reliance of European governments on American technology and services. It all started when President Donald Trump sanctioned Karim Khan, the chief prosecutor at the International Criminal Court, over the ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants for Israeli officials. In response, Microsoft turned off Khan's email address, citing compliance with U.S. sanctions. This move has raised concerns among European leaders about their dependence on American tech companies. Casper Klinge, a former diplomat who has also worked for Microsoft, described the situation as the smoking gun that many Europeans had been looking for. He emphasized that if the U.S. administration targets certain organizations or individuals, American companies may feel obligated to comply, which could have significant implications for European governments and institutions. Microsoft has since announced new sovereign solutions to protect European institutions, and the company noted that it did not shut down the email accounts of 4 ICC judges who were also sanctioned by Trump earlier this month. However, the incident has already prompted some European officials to explore alternative options, such as switching to Swiss email service Proton. This story highlights the complex interplay between technology, politics, and international relations. On one hand, American tech companies have played a crucial role in shaping the global digital landscape and providing essential services to governments and individuals around the world. On the other hand, the fact that these companies are subject to U.S. laws and regulations can create tensions and conflicts with other countries. As European leaders reassess their reliance on American tech, it's essential to consider the potential consequences of this shift. Will it lead to a more diversified and resilient digital ecosystem, or could it create new challenges and uncertainties? The answer remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. The relationship between technology, politics, and international relations will continue to evolve and shape our world in profound ways. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Good evening, and welcome back to Concrete Block. I'm your host, Walter. As we wrap up today's show, we're going to take a closer look at a developing story that's making waves in international politics. Pakistan has announced its intention to nominate President Trump for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize, citing his contributions to global peace. Now, this news comes on the heels of a brief conflict between India and Pakistan last month, which was intervened by the Trump administration. The Pakistani government has praised President Trump's efforts in helping to broker negotiations between the two nations. According to reports from The Hill and other sources, the nomination is seen as a gesture of appreciation for President Trump's role in promoting peace in the region. However, not everyone is pleased with this decision. Some critics, including Pakistan's former ambassador to the U.S., Malia Lodi, have expressed concerns that this move may be seen as an attempt to pander to President Trump's ego. It's also worth noting that this development comes amidst tensions between India and Pakistan over the Indus Water Treaty, which was suspended by New Delhi following a terror attack in April. The treaty has been a point of contention between the two nations for some time now. In related news, Lieutenant General Sajjad Ghani, the chairperson of Pakistan's Water and Power Development Authority, has resigned his post due to differences with the civilian administration over the Indus Water Treaty. This development highlights the complexities and challenges faced by the region in terms of water management and diplomacy. As we consider this story, it's essential to approach it with a nuanced perspective, recognizing the various stakeholders and interests involved. The nomination of President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize is a significant gesture, but it's also important to examine the broader context and potential implications of this decision. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.